I thought the nose trimmer was for your bum hole, but it's not.
Hello and welcome back to RugbyPass Offload with me, Christina and Ryan. And today I'm joined by the hero from Paris, Ryan Wilson, and Wales and Lions legend, Mike Phillips, to chat through all the rugby from the weekend and celebrate Mike's amazing career. How are you both? Mike, welcome to the show.
How are we going? Mike over in Dubai, eh? What about it?
Mate, you're the hero, mate. No, it's all good, mate. Yeah, pleased to be on. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, it's all good. I'm all good.
Well, thanks for coming on. Well, look, Mike, we will catch up with you in a minute, but I do need to start with my player of the match and my unsung hero of the round. Ryan, congratulations. So after 2 months of being a fan and a pundit, you were called back into the squad for your 50th cap. How amazing did it feel to be part of such a historic victory?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. We made sure we celebrated after. That's for sure. But I think it's the way it all came about, Christine. It was just the most mental few days. Like, I've been out of the setup for 18 months since the World Cup now. So to like for the story that I'm about to tell you how it unfolded is just, you couldn't have written it. We went across. Glasgow Warriors got told we needed to go and train against Scotland the morning before they fly out to France. It's Wednesday afternoon. And I'm going, can I be bothered with this? Like, thinking of pulling a sickie. I'm that not bothered about going over and training against Scotland with Glasgow. So we're preparing for Treviso. So we get over there, train against them, and it's literally not until the end of training that Tooney comes over to me and says, "We need you to come to France." And I was
way.
You're having me on. And he was like, "No, that's it. We need you to come," because Matt Fagerson sadly got injured well, I say sadly. Listen, I am gutted for him because he's injured himself quite badly, but yeah, it couldn't have come at a better time for me. Bloody hell. The only reason I went though is because I had done 2 COVID tests in the 2 days and I was there and ready to go. They said, "Have you got your passport?" And I said, "Oh shit, yeah, I actually brought it with me because I thought I'd be coming." And he
Did you really? Did you have a feeling?
Fuck. So I phoned the missus and said, "Bex, you need to get over. I need my passport. I'm in Edinburgh and live in Glasgow." And she said, "I thought you were going to France next week because we got Montpellier this week, Friday night." So she's like, "I thought you were going to France next week." I said, No, we're for Scotland." So she jumped in the car with the little one and then missed the school run on the way home. So I was really pissed off.
Oh dear.
She got stuck in traffic. But
yeah,
she would have driven me to Paris if it had meant it, the amount I wanted it. So yeah, it was pretty special.
All right, it is class. Do you feel like potentially it had anything to do with the conversation we had the last time you were on? Do you feel like Gregor listens to the podcast and he was like, yeah.
It is all down to you, Christina. All down to you. Yeah, he's listened and he thought, I'll listen. I'll go with them. And
he's like, she knows what she's talking about. So
no, I know.
Line out back row.
It wasn't planned when I'm walking through the airport in different players' kit. You know, it's like everyone's got they've got all their kit with the initials.
Yeah.
And I've got random initials on every different bit of kit. I get to security, and I swear to God, I got to the security bit, and I've stood there, literally straight to the airport, like in my kit, like trying to find stuff. And I got to security, and I'm going, "Where's David Edge? Where's the manager?" And they're like, "What?" I said, "I haven't even got a ticket to get through security."
Oh my God.
Like, hold on. So he comes back. I thought they'd done me there. I thought they were winding me up. Imagine that, left at security. You're not really coming, mate.
God,
I did notice though, right? I did notice when the trophy was there in the big picture, you were right next to it, mate. You were
John Terry-esque.
Whose idea was it to get you to lift the trophy?
Mine. No, it wasn't. You could edit this really badly and just leave it there, but nah. I tried to stand it back because I'm like, right, listen, I've come in last minute. I've been in here 24 hours. So I stood at the back and Hoggy's, "Come on, Wilson, it's your 50th. Get down the front and lift it." So I say, "Hey, listen, you didn't need to ask me twice." I was down there, John Terry in the front.
Oh, fair play. Did you find out, obviously when Scotland put up the congratulations for your 50th cap, they'd photoshopped your head onto somebody else's body. Whose body was that?
No idea. But they've managed to find someone with as small biceps as I have. So that's quite impressive. Definitely a back's body because my Swede looks quite big on top of it.
And come here. So obviously on social media, you looked very hanging the next morning on the bus. Have you recovered? Are you still recovering?
Just about. I've just about recovered. I've been pretty ropey. We because it was all really late. Bloody hell, they play. You played in France, before, Mike? Like, it was a 9 o'clock kickoff at night. And yeah, I'm used to the latest we play 7:45 on a Friday night. It's 9 o'clock, so we actually didn't get back to the hotel till about 1 and start doing the sort of, because at the end of the tour, obviously there's a bit of a court session and there's like awards and stuff for player of the tournament and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it went to the early hours in the morning and carried on a little bit on Saturday as well. So I was in a pretty rough place.
Oh dear. And tell us, did Finn get loose? Did you remind him of the bet?
I can't really remember. I can't really remember a massive amount from after in the changing room. Obviously, they do the normal formalities. You got to get up and sing and do all that sorts of stuff. So I haven't had to do any of that for ages, because once you get your first cap, you sort of get away with all that sort of stuff. So the fact that it was my 50th.
What did you sing?
Redemption song by Bob Marley. That's my go-to.
Did you have to do anything else now on Friday night, or was that it, just your song?
No, just drink. Just drink.
Can we have a bit of it now, or?
Oh, you want a bit of Bob Marley now? Yeah, I'll give you now. War pirates, yes, they're rabbi. That's how I start, and then we carry on.
Very good, mate. Very good.
Mike, come here. I heard. Did you used to play some sort of tricks at the airport when you were playing? Did you demand world-class tickets or something?
Yeah, it's an old story. Yeah, if we were going down the Southern Hemisphere and we were in business class, I would just make sure the boys were listening, and I would go to the stewardess and say, look, there's something wrong with my ticket. I mean, you've got business class on this ticket. I'm world class. There's something wrong. Yeah, there's something clearly wrong. So that was like it's done the after dinner sort of reigns now, and it's out there. So it's an old story, but yeah, it was good crack and trying to make the boys laugh. And yeah, people have been dining out on that one, using it. So yeah, good for them.
Too right. Did it ever work? Did you ever get upgraded on it?
No. Got put back.
Yeah, stuck down in the back.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, tell me, how did it feel being back in camp after so long?
It was strange, because in the training session, remember, I'd trained for Glasgow, so I'd pissed everyone off the whole training session. I was in my normal mood. I had pissed everyone off. So I think even they were like, oh, Wilson was a right dick today. And then suddenly Ryan Wilson has been added to the WhatsApp group, and they were like, what? Hold on a minute. So they were pissed off at me at first. But it was strange, because I was the oldest person in the match day 23. I couldn't believe it. I'm only 31.
Wow.
I didn't think that was old. I'm telling people, like, I'm just about hitting the straps here. I'm in my prime. And they're going, mate, you're the oldest in the match day 23. Hamish Watson told me on the way to the team run. That's when, I suppose I saw it in 2 ways. I was like, oh, that's quite good, actually. I'm glad I'm still managed to get in it. But also it shows you how good Scotland are going. Like, they've got some youngsters in that team, and they're only progressing. So yeah, it was a strange one, but bloody hell, it was good to be back with the boys, be back with Hoggy and the likes of Finn, and being able to have a beer with them. Hamish Watson.
Did you ever think that you wouldn't get your 50th cap? Was that annoying you at all? Or?
Yeah, I thought it'd been done, Mike. Honestly, I thought that was me, because yeah, it's been 18 months or whatever, and I've been going all right at Glasgow. That was the other thing. I thought, oh, I'm going all right, and spoke to Tooney at the beginning of the tournament, and he said, listen, just keep, you get the normal stuff off the coaches, keep working on this, keep working on that, and then I could see boys going up ahead of me that hadn't been in the squad before, and you start to go, right, well, that's me done then. So, like I said, it was lucky I'd done 2 COVID tests, mate, because otherwise they wouldn't have been taking me.
Gosh,
I'm still on 99 international caps, so I'm still waiting for my call up. So
are you actually on 99?
With my Lions, yeah, but so hopefully Pivac's listening to this.
Oh, God. Well, Ryan, I think when you look at the social media posts across Friday and Saturday, I think it showed how much it meant to the guys for you to get that cap as well, because you were in everyone's social media, and the fact you got to lift the trophy and stuff as well, it really was special. So obviously, I'm delighted for you.
I appreciate it.
But look, it was, and you, like, for Scotland as well, you guys got your first victory in Paris in over 22 years on Friday. So I suppose tactically now, can you bring us up to speed on what the guys were working on last week to upset France's creativity? And, you know, what did you come up with to overcome their well-drilled defense? Were you just told? You have no idea.
I turned up and just got stuck on the bench and came on and did 15 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. No.
So it's not even a thing. Do they not even like sit you down and be like, right, this is our game plan. We're going to bring up to speed, crash course here? Or
yeah, but what you got to remember is there's like 15 plays I've got to learn, and I'm covering 6 and 8, chance of 7, but Jamie Ritchie would have gone to 7 if Hamish came off. So I've got like a lot of roles I've got to learn. Then I've got to learn the lineouts, which Mark will never understand. It is like the most complicated thing on earth. I'm used to Glasgow just going, right, chuck me up and throw me the ball. Suddenly they're like, right, you got to do this, you got to lift it, and I'm going. So I've got that. I've got plays, lineouts, X6, kickoffs, 22s. There's no time for telling me, like, this, by the way, this is the plan, this is how they play. Sat down with Steve Tandy. Do you know Steve Tandy, Mike?
Yeah, I played with Steve.
Yeah, so he's a good bloke. It was the first time I worked with him. So I had a crash course in what they're doing in defence, but it's not fast what we're doing at Glasgow. So it was pretty easy to slot in that way. And yeah, he sort of just said to me, listen, mate, I don't want to cloud your head with a load of crap, but this is how we defend. And that's it. You don't really, I didn't have an opportunity to go and work out all the tactics. So no, I couldn't tell you. I think we just tried to play our rugby, and you probably saw that.
Mike, if you're looking for your like 100 cap, would you ever consider going over to maybe play for one of the teams in America, like the Giltinis or the one Ben Foden?
He's looking for 100 international caps, Christina. He needs Wales or Lions.
Yeah, I've played a few. No, I don't know if the contract's there, if the money's big enough. You never know.
There we are.
There we go. Well, I saw the stadium. It was the LA Coliseum or something. It looks class. So
yeah,
I feel like I should just
the Giltinis with Gitto, Adam Ashley Cooper.
Is the stadium big enough for my fans? I don't know.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think you'd need to set up like a fan zone outside as well, just to fit them all in.
Okay, we can work on that.
We can work on that. But now, someone
from this pod, mate. You never know what can come. Listen, I never saw that 50th coming. You could either have a contract or 100 international caps on a summer tour with Wales, mate.
Oh, mate, I've had my time. And,
one wouldn't be bad.
Does that annoy you, Mike, that you're sitting on 99? Like, have you made peace with the fact that there's a chance you won't get to the 100, or is it always in the back of your head?
No, I made peace many years ago. I mean, no, it's no, I mean, I go for a run now, and if I get round this 3K within a certain time, I'm happy. And I'm every player, and I think a coach as well has a shelf life. And I think I got everything on my system. I was more than happy to finish. And people, that's the thing. People ask you now, do you miss it? And I don't, because it's not easy. International rugby is hard. Every second on that pitch, you're blowing, you're hurting, you're going through pain. And, I did it for so long and it was amazing, but yeah, I'm more than happy to have done it and moved on. And yeah, so.
Is it just on that, when you speak about that, I always think of what I dread the most. It's the dread before the game that gets me. The feeling before a game where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. And you're like, I even get it playing for Glasgow. I've got 180 odd caps, and I'm still every week before the game, I'm like, I don't know if I'm good enough. Can I do this? I've forgotten how to do it. And every week, and it's until that whistle blows, boom, it goes. And when you're on the moment, and then afterwards, it's brilliant. It's the build up to it. It's the build up to every match, which drains me mentally, I think.
Has that build up always been the same for you since you started? Has there always been that bit of dread, or has that only developed over the last while?
Yeah, I say dread. It's more like
you're a bit anxious. Is it anxious?
Do you know
anxiety?
what I mean? There's a lot of nerves, and when your body fills up with nerves, you're like, oh God, here we go again. Do you know what I'm going on with, Mike?
No.
Yeah. I was going to say, I bet you was just one of them. You're a Finn Russell. Just turn up. Who cares? Just out we go and get on with it. Whereas I used to do I have to do the horrible stuff on the pitch, whereas you used to just float around the backs.
It's probably because that's a sign that you still obviously really care about the game and stuff. And perhaps towards the end, a few of my games, I was probably too relaxed, and it was a way of my brain telling me that, okay, this isn't for you anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, I used to get nervous, but I think having nerves is a great thing, and for me, it was all about my preparation. If I put the prep in the week, and, I had a good sort of, fitness block in the week, that sort of gave me the confidence to go on the field and just be myself and enjoy it. And I think early on in my career, I went on and played for Wales and got so nervous and played badly. And I thought, if I ever get, if I ever get a chance to play for Wales again, I'm just going to be myself and enjoy it. And, there's no reason to be, nervous, because, everyone watching, they're not international rugby players. They're not putting the graft in. They haven't got the talent. There's no reason to be nervous. You're doing what you love. You're doing your dream, and enjoy it, really.
Yeah, I'll have to do that next time I play.
Try and do that. Yeah, try and channel a bit of Mike the next time you play and see how you get on.
I will do.
Well, look, on Wales, they went from being woeful to champions in a matter of months. So, Mike, who impressed you the most in the Welsh team?
I think Pivac, for sure. Pivac's outstanding. I think some of his touches, he plays like a back. He plays like a creative midfielder. He's got all the skills, and I think he's been outstanding. And then his number 8 partner in Faletau, again, his footwork, and it's great to see him back to his best. He's had troubles with his injuries and stuff, and great guy away from the game, and he's been a shining light for Wales, and obviously Zamet. Then I know I'm stating the obvious, but he's been outstanding. And some of the tries he scored have been not just sort of dot downs; they've been amazing, great individual finishes, and the one against Scotland, and just again skill set. Players who've got it all, and who have entertained. And like I said before, I want to be entertained watching rugby now, and those are the type of players that can create for others and add massive value to the team.
What have you made of the changes under Wayne Pivac?
I think he's been great. I think he's shown confidence in his bench. I think he's brought a lot of youngsters through. I think he gave a lot of youngsters opportunities in the autumn, and of course, there wasn't the results, but the boys had that international time on the field. And I think Sheedy, Hardy as well was outstanding against England, and those boys were coming on games in key times and winning games for Wales. So he was building a squad. He's been building a squad, really, and I think I felt sorry for him after the autumn international. So I think he's going to do an amazing job for Wales. For how many years he'll go on, but I think he'll develop a real sort of an open, sort of attractive style of rugby, which suits us as sort of players in Wales. I think none of this, not so much of a crash ball, run into people head on. Look for space, use footwork, be creative, and I think it's been he's really impressed me, and in the way that he's shown faith in his squad. Really, it's been good.
Well, Mike, look, when you look back at the countless Grand Slams that you won at Wales, what campaign was your favourite, and also what was the best squad night out?
Oh, geez, can't remember the night outs. The best night out.
Take it. Glam.
They're all pretty epic. Going back to the first one where we won up in Twickenham, and that was a good one, where it's all come out now, and kind of, we were told we weren't allowed into Cardiff, so we could drink as much as we wanted in the hotel. And I was actually a good boy that night, but then in the morning, the stories have come out that Shane has offered Gats outside. That was an interesting one. So we basically beat England, and I scored the winning try. Shane didn't actually get on the score sheet, so he's been a bit annoyed with that, because it's always about Shane. We've gone out. We weren't allowed into Cardiff that night, And I remember being on the bus when they announced it, and Henson's going, "Oh yeah, I'd love to see him drop us after that win. You know, first time we beat England away for like 20 odd years." But yeah, we just had a few in the bar then, and like I said, most of us were fairly good, well behaved, but I don't know. Shane and Gats had a bit of a kung fu, bit of a disagreement where Shane couldn't remember doing it, but he kind of has a little go in for some reason. I don't know whether it was more fun based than anything, but yeah, he sort of quickly ran up to his office the next day to apologize, and he couldn't understand what he'd done. And Gats literally, it was amazing. He sort of just said, "Look, you know, don't worry about it at all. You know, you were fine." But he kind of said, "If you ever call me such and such or such again,
Oh dear.
we'll be playing." But it was, you know, Gats was great like that. I think he loved it as much as anyone. So you know, it was all in good spirits, and worked out in the end.
Well, look, there has been a lot of debate around who should be Lions captain. So, Mike and Ryan, I want to know who is going to be your Lions captain and why.
If you put Alan Wynne-Jones in, then it's easy. But have you got him in your team, Mike?
Yeah, I've gone for Alan Wynne-Jones.
Is that easy then?
I'd get shot in Wales if I didn't, I think.
Exactly. So it's easy for you. Whereas...
No, I think he has been amazing. I think his energy and, you know, and I've played with him for so many years, and he's like something from another planet. I mean, how he can still keep going, and he's a great leader, you know. So I think, yeah, for me, he has to be you know, and winning the Six Nations again, I think is, you know, a testament to him as well.
He is who I would have as the captain, but I'm just not sure. I've tried to balance it out a bit here with like my squad. Yeah. And I'm just going, you know what I mean? Listen. This is where my dilemma is. Ready? Okay. I've got Tyg Byrne and Johnny Gray in there because I know what Johnny Gray gets for and does.
Okay.
That's my dilemma, because then where's Alan Wynne-Jones? So maybe chuck Johnny on the bench and get Alan Wynne-Jones in, because the other thing is I'm going, I don't know who would be a captain, because I don't really know all of them that well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know Faletau personally, and I know what it takes to be a captain. I know what you've got to be like. So it's not that easy to go, you know, like people go, Maritoje captain. Well, no, because I don't think he's got the personality and what I hear about Alan Wynne-Jones, I'm going, yeah, you can see it. He's the way he is with people and stuff, and the way he puts his body on the line, and he's been there before. He's done it. He would be the captain, wouldn't he? That's an easy one to pick.
Are you a bit nervous about who you picked, because you know how influential this podcast can be? So, like, you know,
I'm stressing out about it. I put myself on the bench, and I just want to be there.
All right, well, just go for it. Just
15
captain
minutes,
aside.
15 minutes in the Six Nations. Gats, pick me.
I'm surprised you haven't put yourself as captain for the Lions after the 15 minutes. No, all right. I want you to just go whatever, 1 to 15. Give me your team.
Mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. Right, I've gone Vunipola, the Sheriff, Ken Owens, because I think he's class, and he still looks like a darts player. Gerwyn Price, he's like old Gezi Price. He Ken Owens, like you could see him down the pub playing darts or playing pool, and then suddenly he's...
Gerwyn Price has got a better shape than Ken.
Yeah, he has, you're right. He has. The Iceman. So, right, Vunipola, Ken Owens, Tyg Furlong, because he's been bloody good. Yeah. Tyg Byrne, Johnny Gray / Alan Wynne-Jones.
A hybrid, okay.
Yeah. Right, this is bloody hard, this bit. 100% I'm putting Hamish Watson in the 7 shirt. 100%. Faletau at 8. I'm going Tipuric at 6, but I know he's not a 6, but like you're saying, you could put him anywhere across that back row. He's a bloody good line-out option as well. For a pretty short guy, he's a good line-out option as well. And I'm thinking, imagine him and Hamish Watson turning over ball against the Saffers. And that's what the other thing you got to think about is this is South Africa.
Yeah.
So you start sticking big, massive blokes in there trying to smash them up. It isn't going to work. You need a little bit of finesse, like we're saying, that, you know, a bit of pace, jackalers, turnovers, right? I'm buying into this. Now, let me explain this bit. Finn Russell at 10.
Yep.
Who's 9?
Well, that's it. Finn Russell at 10. So I think he needs his little sidekick, Ali Price, with him. Right? I know. Centres, I haven't got a clue. I don't really know centres, but I've gone Henshaw and John Davies, the Fox. I've gone Lewis
Did you
Rees
just Google
Zammit.
centres then, and those two came up?
They're my they're like they're the question marks around there, because the other one, Hugh Jones, but he's so good in attack, and I think he would do well. Plus, he did a gap year in South Africa, so he'd be all right. Lewis Rees Zammit on one ring at 14, Hoggy at 15, and my other winger, to add a little bit of balance, Duhan van der Merwe. I wouldn't have said it until I saw the nick of him when I was in camp, and I'm like, he's top try scorer, isn't he, of the Six Nations?
Yeah,
he's a powerful bloke. So then you've got speed and power. So
Gats would love that type of player as well, I think.
There you are. So Zammit on one ring. What can I say?
One.
Zammit on one wing.
There you go.
Because I'm telling you, Finn Russell putting those crossfields with that fella chasing after him, mate, all day you're scoring tries against the Saffers. And then, bringing Duhan van der Merwe off 9, little tucks, smashing him up, using him as a back row, basically.
Now, are you only picking Ali Price because he's your friend? Because I don't know. I've seen a lot of lines, 15's been selected over the last few days. I'm not one of them.
Why Conor Murray? Everyone's picked Conor Murray. Why? Because that is not going to suit Finn. A bloke that's just going to kick the nuts off the ball. Nah. That is not going to suit Finn Russell. You've got to think about Finn Russell here. You've got to think of, what does he want? What does Finn want? Finn wants someone that's going to give him the ball. Early, quick, speedy ball. Right. Mike, you're up, mate.
So I've gone Wyn Jones.
Right. Oh, mate, you can't just name the whole world.
Here goes the Welsh squad. Okay.
Ken Owens, Furlong.
Yep.
Atoje, Alwyn Jones, and then Tyburn
At 6.
Yeah, with Tipperick and Faletau. That's the pack. That's the starting test team there.
That's it. Done.
Gone for myself at 9, obviously. No, I put. I thought Thomas Williams would be. Still think he'd be going. I still think he'd be pushing. I like him, but I've got Murray in there because he came on my podcast a few weeks ago.
And he comes to Dubai a lot.
He does.
And he's going to do a little bit in that rooftop bar that you do some stuff in.
You know, Ryan, Ryan's a big fan of Connor's as well.
You cannot benefit out of this. This isn't like to... Oh, by the way, I've dropped you in that team. So, you know, when I'm doing that little thing out in Dubai, you know, the coaching school that I do, the little bit with the kids, just jump on a flight and head over.
No.
Because you're going to name Finn Russell, aren't you? At 10.
It was close. Like, it's bigger him, and it's like, you know, it's
right. Hold on, I'm just Wyn Jones, Ken Owens. You've named.
Yeah, how many Welsh have you named so far, Mike?
Hold on, we've got
7 Welsh.
We've got 7 Welsh, and we've not even made it 10.
No, that's in total. That's what's going to be the total.
Right, okay.
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Sorry, so Dan Bigger.
Yeah, Biggs. I got Zammit, and then Henshaw, Jonathan Davis, Watson, and Hogg. But I put Hogg in because I think I haven't got a Scotsman otherwise. So.
One. You tosser.
Yeah, but on the bench I've got
8
Hamish
Welsh.
Van der Merwe, Finn Russell.
You've put an all
You've loaded the bench up. Cheers, mate.
Bench is full of Scots.
Oh, that's an important part of the team. You saw at the weekend, the important part of the team is the finishers.
Yep. Right, last question before we move on. I want to get your score predictions for the first lines test.
Mate, you can't Google that. What are you looking down for? What's the score going to be?
Or, okay, if it's not for the first test, then for overall, who do you think is going to come out on top?
I'm going to back the boys. You know, I think there's going to be a massive Scottish contingent into that squad now. And they're going to be the difference coming off the bench. So I think, I can see the Lions winning the first test. Maybe, I think it's going to be an epic series. I think maybe losing the second one and then winning the third. So I think...
I like that. Yep.
I'm exactly the same. I reckon the Saffers haven't played rugby for God knows how long. How long have they? They've not played for like 2 years. Mm-hmm. These boys have all got a bit of rugby under their belt. I'm the same. I reckon Lions win the first one comfortably. Saffers get a little bit of heart, pull it back, win the second, and then I reckon it's tight as anything in the last one, but the Lions can win it. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And actually, I think over this episode and last week, I think everybody who gave their starting 15 all chose Tyg Furlong, I think, to start. So after his dancing feet the week before. Oh, he's just amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been outstanding. I mean, I think that's a key thing. Going back to 2009 and that first test, and we lost so many penalties in scrum time, and I think it's a really key part of the game is to sort of get that sort of get sort of parity there. And I played with Adam Jones for so many years, and he was amazing. I mean, and then in 2013, he was one of the best players. I was stood obviously next to the scrum, put the ball in, bang, Adam Jones wins the penalty every single time. Along with the other players, but I think he was a huge player, and so Furlong as well. He's great in the scrum and around the field. He's fantastic. So keep sort of going up against that massive pack of South Africa. They're world champions, so they've got to be strong set piece wise. Otherwise, it's going to get away from them.
We are back with Manscaped, who are the best in below the belt men's grooming, with a new segment called Cut of the Week, where we'll be asking our panel to choose the best moment from the previous weekend's action. So, Mike, of all the great rugby we saw over the weekend, what goes down as your Manscaped Cut of the Week?
Well, I think look no further than Ryan. I think at the end there, posing with the trophy, played 4 minutes.
5.
No, only joking. But no, coming on and for his 50th cap, I mean, amazing achievement, and to be there. I think being told that Hoggy pulled him next to the trophy. So that was an epic moment for him, and great for the side.
Boys were cracking up because I even got sent through that, the clap, the huddle that you walk through the tunnel. I even got sent through that first as well. People missed that. I'm like, get out of the way. I'm through. Thanks, mate. Have you got a Manscaped grooming set yet?
I haven't, no.
We'll have to get one out to Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are. I have nothing to do with them sending them out, but I'm telling you, they're going to send you one out now, and you're going to get one. And there's this thing that you put on your balls.
Yeah.
Just balls going saggy. And there actually is that in the thing. Never knew that was a thing.
Yeah, the boys went through their packs before, and your minds were blown, weren't they?
Yeah. The nose trimmer. Behind, I thought the nose trimmer was for your bum hole, but it's not.
Ryan, what was your Manscaped Cut of the Week?
It would have been me going under the post for the try, had Hamish Watson given me it a little bit earlier, but sadly didn't, and Wayne Barnes got in the way. Mine would be Adam Hastings' pass to come on, and it's a big pass to throw, like it's under pressure. You mess it up, everyone's going to hate you. And he didn't. He absolutely nailed it. To big Duhan van der Merwe, who manages to run in every try that he gets. So, probably Adam Hastings' pass over the top. We're always talking about Finn Russell, etc. I would give it to him. So he's another man that would love a Manscaped set because, he lasers his leg hair.
Does he?
Oh, he's gonna be raging. But he lasers his leg hair. You Welsh boys are into all this stuff, eh, Mike? You haven't ever. Don't tell me you do it.
Did you used to shave your legs when you were playing, Mike?
I've clipped them a few times.
Yeah, but never Bic razored them, eh?
No.
Any
But
lasers?
I can't get over it.
Have you seen how hairy my legs are? I mean, it's like,
Come on, get them up.
Yeah.
huh?
Come on, get them up.
Oh.
So but I'm telling you though, lasered leg hair.
Well, I mean, the Barnet, the peroxide blonde hair, like that's something else. So are we kind of surprised? No.
No, I suppose. So yeah, but he really would enjoy one. So hey, we can send him one out as well.
Tell you what, no.
We'll get him one
if
as well.
he comes on the podcast, then we'll give him a grooming kit. He can't just be getting stuff for free now.
Nah, true.
Guys, don't find yourselves being left out and join over 2 million men using the #1 grooming products worldwide. If you can receive 20% off all of the Manscaped's incredible products and free shipping if you use the code Offload. Your crown jewels will thank you.
If you want firmer testicles, use the ball cream. You reckon they could use that for an advert? They'd be like, yes.
They should get you on as like an ambassador or something for them.
Watch have my nuts out on the advert.
Jamie's always on this one, isn't he? He's on here, isn't he? So I had a message off Dan Carter, like was going back a year and a half now, and Dan texted me, how's things, just how's things going with the rugby academy? I was like, yeah, it's going well, mate. It's all good. He goes, oh, well, if I'm over there, I'll just come over and do a session for you, I said, oh, yeah, cheers. That'd be amazing, brilliant. And then like a week later, message off Jamie, and Jamie goes, oh, Mike, how's the rugby academy going? I said, yeah, it's going all right. Yeah, it's going all right. And he goes, well, if you get my flight ticket, get me a hotel, I'll come over and do a session for you. I'm like,
and fly the kids and the family.
So DC just offering his, whatever. So my response was, oh, it's all right, Jamie. I'm trying to teach the kids how to pass the rugby ball, so I don't think I need your
Dragons legend.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, dear. Well, look, Mike, we will move on to your interview part. So you played in all 3 tests in the British and Irish Lions 2009 South Africa tour. What are your best memories from that tour?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in many ways, devastation in the end, not winning the series. And I think during this lockdown, I mean, the games were shown again, and that was the first time I seen clips of it. And for me, it's all about, when you become a Lion, I think for me, I always wanted to be a test Lion and a winning test Lion as well. I think it's lovely to be on the tour, but for me, it's all about winning the series because that's what it's about. There's few people who have actually won a series, and there's only ever been sort of, correct me if I'm wrong, but 5 winning teams or something. So yeah, for me, it was all about that, and it was all about winning it, and then coming so close. That second test, the first test, we just sort of, things went against us. Scrum time, we've talked about that and things, but we came back late on and we just fell short. I think another 5 minutes and we'd have won that first game, but and then the second test, we just sort of threw it away. I mean, we had a great start, and people say it was one of the most epic games of rugby, and I'm sure it was for neutrals, but just devastation. I mean, absolutely devastating. And I think, again, I flicked it on a couple of months back when it was on Sky and all this, and the memories came flooding back, but more of disappointment of not winning that series, to be honest, because the way that everyone got on was amazing, and you had Andy Powell in there, and it was hilarious, and personally I felt good in the way I played, which is a positive as well, and which is what you want. And but on one hand it was amazing, and then the disappointment of losing, so it was just tough to sort of process, really.
The nights out on Lions tours are legendary. So were there a few nights out on the South Africa tour, or was it kind of few and far between because of how the results were going?
No, I think Gatland and Geach were pushing that, I think, because of what happened in 2005. I think there were players that didn't even get to meet each other that much in 2005 down in New Zealand. So they wanted to go back a bit old school, have a few beers. I remember we were supposed to go sailing on the second day, and we were in the bar having a bit of a bit of a bonding session, and we were supposed to go sailing the next day. We cancelled that because the boys were having such a good crack, until the early hours, and that's where that sort of the bonding starting, and people, this huge respect for each other, and you don't want to leave each other down, and you sort of we grew as a family really, and you go out and you fight for each other. So amazing, and you chuck Andy Powell in the middle in the mix. It's all you need really. So great memories really.
Well, I suppose that is my next question, because every Welshman who comes onto this podcast, we ask them for their best Andy Powell story. The floor is yours.
Oh Jesus. There's so many. I mean, Andy Powell has so many stories, and every day he says the same one-liners every single day. I mean, and they're so funny because you've heard them a million times, and it's just hilarious. We went over on a bit of a golf trip to Ireland. One of my good friends was living in Cork, and we had a whale of a time. And he went to the shop, bought a Munster jersey, and we're going around pubs, and he's telling everyone, "Yeah, just signed for Munster today, and I've got a big contract, 3 years," and everyone's like taking photos, and he's just all he wants to do is make people laugh and have fun, and he's great to be with.
Well, how do you reckon he'd do now? Like, I know the game's getting more and more professional. He wouldn't last 2 minutes now, would he? Because he'd get in so much trouble, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he used to, with Dai Young handled him really well. I mean, he used to sort of, he'd ring up and say that he was, snowed in and all this, because he lives up in Brecon and things. He'll have all the excuses, but, and Dai was living up in the valleys anyway, I think, and then he'd Google a picture of snow, and just it'd be the first picture that come up on Google and send it into the Dai. But Dai, Dai was good man manager, and he looked after him, and but yeah, he's just just fun to be with, and he's so up and down as well. But you got to love him, and he does those characters pull the team together, and it's so valuable for especially a touring team as well, because the Irish boys didn't know what to make of him in the first couple of days, and then they just realized we made him chief announcer on the bus, and you just getting the boy, getting the boys in stitches every single time on the mic, and he's a top guy.
You're right, you do need one of them. I'm looking at that team now. I'm trying to work out who
would be the Andy Powell of
who would be your man in there.
Interesting. Well, look, Mike, you also represented the Lions on the 2013 tour to Australia. So I want to know, who was your best drinking buddy on that tour?
Well, do you know what? That tour, my drinking buddy for the first night was Paul O'Connell. We had a good night in Dublin, and I remember we had a fair few as a group, and I was enjoying myself that much that I told Warren Gatland that he'd only got the job because of me, because of my performances for him, which he loved. And but then we went to Hong Kong. We played the first game against the Barbars, and that game I scored 2 tries, man of the match, brilliant. But I did my sort of ligaments in my knee, and honestly, from that moment, I was on the back foot the whole tour, and didn't really go out with the boys, didn't drink, just wasn't able to. My knee got to Perth, and my knee was like a balloon. But in the back of my mind, I knew that we were going to win that series, and I wanted to be part of it because I didn't win in 2009. So I wanted that winning 9 on my CV. I kind of felt like, selfishly, I felt like I earned it, or not earned it, but I felt that I really wanted it really more than anything. So after South Africa, sorry. And then, so it was honestly, I didn't really enjoy it. It was looking after myself, icing my knee constantly. And I look back now and I think I didn't even play that well because I was playing injured. So that tour, the last few days, we had a good few swigs, but it's so strange looking back on that tour really, because my head was all over the place. He was so annoyed with having that injury and not being able to be fully fit, playing for the Lions, still annoys me today, and representing myself like it did, which I knew I could have played better if I was fully fit. So, but we won. So,
I know exactly what you mean. Like I can imagine when you go around like these summer tours and stuff and you're touring and you're sat in the hotel trying to get your knee right and they've told you, the physios saying, listen, don't walk on it, stay off it today. And all the boys are going out and doing fun stuff and your days off and things like that. Gutted even when you know the boys. So I can imagine on a Lions tour when you're trying to integrate with the group and get to know people more and you're stuck there with a bloody ice pack in your knee, game ready in all week. Oh man, that would have killed me, because that's why you go as well, to enjoy the off-field side of things and the social aspect, not just the rugby. So I get you completely there. That would have been bloody tough.
Yeah, and I kind of knew that it was going to be my last tour and last opportunity, and you want to present yourself in the best way on the field. The off the field stuff, it's not really that important. You want to play to your best ability on the field and show the world that you deserve to be there and you're one of the best in the world. So the fun stuff will happen when you put the performances in the field on the pitch. So it was a funny one really, but we had a few swigs on the last day.
Made up for it, mate. I bet you made up for it.
Well, you got to meet Daniel Craig. What was that like?
Yeah, well, he sent us champagne in 2009, actually. And
as you do.
Classic.
Yeah, we were like, just, what are those, like 10 bottles of champagne over there? Who sent them? And it was like, someone said, Daniel Craig has sent them for the boys. And we're like, wow, that's pretty impressive. And then, he came into the change rooms in the last test, and boys are playing the James Bond theme tune. And it was that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, amazing that we won in the end. I mean, the boys were outstanding in the last test. Just getting that Jamie scored, which bad bit.
Well, look, of all the people, I'll move on because poor Jamie's getting a tough time of it today. So Lee Burns has spoken about his hatred for Rob Howley over the years, and the fact that he was a nightmare to train under. But he speaks very highly about you in the fact that you had the balls to stand up to him and put him back in his place. So can you tell us what happened that day?
No, I think we kind of like had a love-hate relationship for a bit. And I think, a massive respect to what he's done, as a player. And, he's really good to me, as a coach as well. Just a few times he kind of would have a go at me, and I just wouldn't take it really. And some things, I disagreed with him. So just probably one time I actually was pretty straight with him after a session. I told him pretty straight, and he's trying to text me and ring me, and I'm saying, no, mate, I'll speak to you Monday morning. And he's like, oh, please answer your phone. I'm like, no, I'll speak to you Monday.
Wow.
And then he's like, oh, don't worry, you're going to go on the Lions and all this. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to go on the Lions.
Don't need you to tell me.
I know that. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, he used to wind me up as well and stuff. So, I mean, it was one of them. They kind of felt that if they wind me up, I'd perform better. So it was a bit of that going on as well. Do you know what I mean? So
do you think that was maybe some, like, was there any merit in that? Did they wind you up and did you then perform better, or was that just something they thought?
Well, like before games, I mean, Sean Edwards would, before team talk, before going on the field, would say, our aggression comes from our number 9. And I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, what about these eight guys next to me? I mean, so, but I used to love it, I loved that. But yeah, so they used to just try and wind me up, and they felt that, I could add value in that sense, in defensively as much as attack. So, that was that.
Well, Mike, we often talk about training ground spats on this podcast. So I want to know, what's the worst one that you've ever witnessed?
Johnny Sexton in Racing had a few. I think he had a few clips from Brian Mojati once, and what's his name? Jean-Andre Kruger, I think. That was pretty exciting to watch. But yeah, Johnny obviously he tries to get the best out of everyone. So, immensely passionate and, proud, and, he just wants to drive the team on. So, yeah, and that's kind of happens in rugby, doesn't it? It spills over from time to time because everyone's emotional and want to win the game. So, but yeah, he was Sexton's very fiery on the field, which I love, and it was great to get to play alongside him. And but yeah, Majati was swinging at his head a few times, but he managed to get out of the way, I think.
And look, this is the last question for you. So when you look back on your amazing career, what stands out for you as your biggest highlight, and then also your biggest regret?
Obviously, the obvious of winning the Six Nations, Grand Slams, the Lions. I mean, it's the obvious stuff, really. But any sort of time you win, you put so much effort into it, and that's what it's all about. It's all about winning and doing whatever you can to get over the line and get those victories. So, like I said before, it wasn't just about being a Lion. It was about being a winning Lion, and because that's how you get remembered. And that's how you put your name in history. So, yeah, I suppose, winning the Lion series and being part of the Lions and Grand Slams and Six Nations tournaments.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive career.
First cap, Mike?
It was a bit of a disappointment in a way, because I think we had COVID because we were playing Romania in Wrexham. So there was no one watching, but no, it was like, as a kid, you grow up in it. You want like, you want your first cap to be against a massive side in Cardiff. 70,000 people. I'm not knocking it, but I was young. I was a youngster, being given the opportunity to develop, and yeah, but it was kind of like, like a slight sort of, not how the dream sort of went in my head. You know what I mean?
That's not a Mike Phillips moment, is it?
No.
Down at Wrexham.
Well, you made up for it though with the amazing career you had. So
exactly.
Yeah, but I remember being annoyed after it. I mean, and that's how I always was, because I always wanted to be better.
I think only you would say that. I know my first cap because it was against Romania down at Wrexham.
Yeah, I scored though. Scored first. Fine.
Well, look, that is it from us. So thanks to Mike Phillips and Ryan Wilson, and thanks to you for listening. More offloading next week. So make sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts so you get them as soon as it's released. Leave us a rating and review if you can. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well. Thanks, guys.
Farewell.